Hello everyone, very good morning to all of you. So friends, welcome back to our Anthropology PYQ series, and sorry for the late, due to some technical issues, we were late for 10 minutes. So friends, in today's discussion, let us take up another important question from Anthropology PYQ, and let's try to know that particular question, how to approach and how to write answers, and what are the basic aspects that we should see from that particular question, right? So here, if you see from the perspective of the question, so the question of the day with us for today is this. So look at the question. Anthropology provides a multi-dimensional understanding of human beings by bridging the gap between science and humanities. So elucidate. So this is the question that is there with us, right? So let's see how to approach for the question and how to just write answer for the question in a systematic fashion. So once again, a very good morning to all of you. So those who have joined, so you can just follow the session. So this is one thing. So now, if you look at the question, so what is the basic essence of the question? So basic essence of the question is that the question is trying to seek from the students that what is the chief nature of the anthropology discipline. So nature of the discipline is the basic demand of the question. So it systematically asks us to establish anthropology as a science discipline and anthropology as a humanities discipline. So that's what the basic essence of the question. So I hope some of you might have catched the essence. So now let us try to see how we can proceed further and how we can approach. So friends, in very in the very introduction, you can just simply define anthropology, and you can say, you can talk about the nature of the anthropology as a discipline. So in very simple fashion, you can say that anthropology is nothing but it's a systematic study of human beings in both time and space. In a very simple fashion, you can define. And then you can say that anthropology is a beautiful blend of both the humanities and sciences. So this is how you can introduce the question. Right? In the body portion of the answer, what you have to do, in the body portion, you have to, first of all, you have to establish anthropology as the science discipline, and then you have to establish anthropology as the humanities discipline, and then you have to establish how it acts as a bridge between sciences and humanities. So this is what the basic body portion of the answer that you have to write. And then finally, you can conclude the answer by establishing that how it is a bridge between sciences and humanities. So that's one thing. So friends, first let us try to understand basically what is anthropology. So though we know, so it's the demand of the question, so let's try to understand it in a systematic fashion. So in a simple fashion to say, what is anthropology? So in a very simple fashion, so anthropology is, etymologically even it is speaking, so it is very well clear to all of you that anthropology has been derived from two Greek words. One is anthropos and the other one is logos. So anthropos refers to basically human beings, whereas logos refers to study. So in a simple fashion to say, anthropology is nothing but study of human beings. So that's one thing. So anthropology is basically, it is the study of human beings. Study of human beings. So this is the basic meaning of the word anthropology. Now, when we talk from the perspective of the study, so what kind of study it is? So that's very, very important for us. So here we should understand and we should remember that when we are studying here, so anthropology, in what way it studies means it's a kind of, it's a systematic, scientific, holistic and integrative study of man. Integrative study of man. or human beings. So this is one important aspect. So this is the nature of the study of that we do in anthropology. Now furthermore, if you see, so where do we see this? So this systematic, scientific, holistic and integrative study of man we do across the time and across the space. So we do this across all the times and across all the space. So this is what you should remember. So in very simple fashion, what we can say, anthropology is nothing but the study of human beings in both in time and space. So now we are saying that anthropology tries to study human beings in a systematic fashion, scientific fashion, holistic fashion and integrative fashion. So in a systematic fashion means what? So in a systematic fashion means we will try to study about human beings in a proper manner. So where we have divided anthropology into different disciplines. Like one discipline deals with the biological aspect, one discipline deals with the cultural aspects, one discipline deals with the linguistic aspects, and one discipline deals with the old remains of the past. So accordingly, we have systematically categorized the different aspects and we will study it in a systematic fashion. So that's one thing. So that's how we can say anthropology is a systematic study of man. So furthermore, so anthropology is a scientific study of man. So what do we mean by that? So here we will try to explore various aspects about human beings through some scientific evidences and through scientific manners. So that's one another important thing. It's a holistic study. It's a holistic study because we will study about human beings from all the perspectives. We not only study about biological aspects, we study about the cultural and sociological aspects, and we do study about linguistic and archaeological aspects. So that's why we will call it as a holistic discipline and holistic study. So in the same fashion, it's an integrative study. So it's an integrative study because we do systematically integrate different disciplines. So let's say, for example, biological anthropology is integrated with the cultural anthropology. So if we say human anthropology is a biocultural approach, so it is systematically integrated. That's one thing. And various other aspects also over there. So we can also see involvement of various other disciplines also in anthropology. So that's why we can say that anthropology is an integrative study of human beings. So this is very basic thing that you should know before writing answer for the question. So now in the introduction, simply you can mention what is anthropology. So that's where you can just say, and in the introduction itself you can say that it's a beautiful blend of the humanities and sciences. So then in the body portion of the answer, so first thing that you have to do is that, so you have to establish anthropology as a science discipline. So this is what first thing you should do. So the first part of your body portion. So we have to establish anthropology as a science discipline. So how we can establish this, or how we can do this? So first, if you look at the first point, so first and foremost thing that you can pitch is that you can bring in the context of the biological anthropology. So you can say that biological anthropology What is this biological anthropology? Biological anthropology, it's a subfield of the anthropology. It's a branch of anthropology which systematically tries to study various biological aspects of human beings from the past to present, from the origin to contemporary times. So here, what does biological anthropology do? So biological anthropology tries to study about various science-related aspects, like starting from human evolution to human variations, and not only this, it also tries to establish humans as a primate. So we will also study primatology. So this is also one another important section among the biological anthropology. So this is where we can say that study of human beings, the evolution of the human beings, and the study of human variations as well as the primatology. So all of those aspects systematically involves various scientific methods. So in order to establish human beings as a primate or human beings, in order to just identify variations in humans, so we have to just systematically explore and we have to examine. So in all such aspects, so we engage various scientific methods. Scientific methods are engaged in doing this. So these things make anthropology a science discipline. So that's how you can first mention. Then furthermore, so second, so we can see, furthermore, we can see that there is relevance of things like, let's say for example, so we have archaeological anthropology. So archaeological anthropology, so it's another branch of anthropology which tries to look into the study of the past with the help of material, study of the past cultures with the help of material remains that are available today. So that's where, so this is another important branch. So what is this particular branch will do? So this branch will systematically tries to utilize some of the important scientific analysis methods. Like let's say for example, there are so many dating methods. There are so many dating methods to study past cultures. So in establishing or in analysis of the past cultures with the help of material remains of the present, so here we will involve a lot of dating methods. So all the dating methods, be it could be carbon C14 dating method, or it could be like fission track dating method, or there are so many methods like potassium argon method or dendrochronology. So all of those things, both absolute and relative dating methods, so they further engage in scientific study. So are further scientific methods. So that's how, so this further establishes anthropology as a science discipline. So that's another important thing that you should keep in mind, right? So this is how you can just talk about and you can establish simply anthropology as a science discipline. So furthermore, in the second part of the body, so you have to establish anthropology as a humanities discipline. As a humanities discipline. So here when we say humanities, so can you able to recollect any sort of examples of humanities subjects? So humanities, so if you see humanities, so generally subjects like history, so those who deals with the humanistic aspects, so the sociology, history, so they are all, so some of the things like humanities, so like those things. So now what we do here in anthropology, we have some of the disciplines, like let's say, so we have some of the branches. So first thing, we can talk about the cultural anthropology. So cultural anthropology, what does it do? So cultural anthropology, it tries to interpret or it tries to establish culture from the point of the interpretational aspects. So where, so we will see it from the interpretation point of view. So thus we can get the relevance of some of the humanities aspects there. So that's one thing. So here we can say that, so it interprets, it uses are like anthropology, we will interpret cultural aspects in various ways. So this further establishes it as a humanistic discipline. So think about history. So we will try to recollect about various aspects of the historical cultures and we will try to use in anthropology and we will try to establish. So that is one thing. So cultural anthropology is one thing that's that will show it as a humanities discipline. And then furthermore, like we have social anthropology. So social anthropology tries to explore or tries to further establish as a humanities discipline. So where we will systematically study various social aspects, like it could be kinship, marriage, family, etc. So they will further help us in understanding various aspects in a systematic fashion. So these aspects further establish the discipline of anthropology as humanities. And furthermore, so if you see, we have linguistic anthropology. So this is another important thing that you should remember. So linguistic anthropology, this is another important branch of anthropology. So here, so what does linguistic anthropology do? Linguistic anthropology systematically tries to not only establish language as a kind of structure, rather it also tries to interpret language as the vehicle of transmission of the culture. So this is where, so linguistic anthropology also tries to establish the anthropology as the humanities. So as humanities basically tries to interpret various aspects of the so in the similar fashion, so and in anthropology also we can use interpretational aspect. So that's how. So there are so many branches which are examples for these humanities, like as you are saying, it could be polity, economy, and the history, all those things. So that's how. So that's one important aspect. So this is how you have to establish both. So then you have to establish furthermore that, so anthropology is a beautiful blend of all of these subjects. So we can see, we can further talk about the branches of anthropology, and you can say that, so all these branches, through all these branches, we will study anthropology in a systematic fashion. So that's how you should talk about the nature. So first you should talk about thing that anthropology is a systematic study. Systematic study of man. So here you can further explain. So how does it acts as a bridge between sciences and humanities. Then furthermore, you can say anthropology as holistic study of man. So from this perspective, you can further explain. So different branches, and it tries to study human beings in a holistic perspective. So holism is a hallmark of anthropology. So that's another important aspect. Then furthermore, you can talk it as an interdisciplinary branch. So this is another important aspect you can talk about as an anthropologist. So interdisciplinary. So there are so many disciplines that are involved in making of it. Then furthermore, you can establish anthropology as a biocultural aspect. You can talk about biocultural anthropology and biocultural approach of explaining its nature. So through such kind of points, you can explain that anthropology is not only a science subject, rather anthropology is a humanities subject. So at the end, what you can do, so you can end this with a systematic justification, stating that we have some of the definitions given by some of the scholars. So where can you able to recollect the definition given by A.L. Kroeber and Eric Wolf? So what A.L. Kroeber as well as Eric Wolf explained. So A.L. Kroeber, an American anthropologist, and Eric Wolf. So it's both together, they have pitched same thing. So try to recollect it. So what does they said? So they said that anthropology is, look at this statement carefully, anthropology is most scientific of all humanities, and it is most humanistic among all sciences. So this was a definition that has been given by A.L. Kroeber as well as are equal. So from this, what we can understand, so look at the statement carefully. So anthropology is the most scientific of all the humanities, and it is the most humanistic of all the sciences. So with such kind of statements, you can further conclude the answer stating that. So the definitions given by these scholars further reiterate the nature of the anthropology as a bridge between the sciences and humanities. So that's where you can just talk, and that's where you can end the discussion. So this is how you have to basically approach for the question. So friends, so these things you have to keep in mind, and you can just talk about all these aspects, and it's a very simple question which is based on the basic definition of the question anthropology, or the basic nature of the anthropology. So those who are just there with anthropology for considerable time, so you can systematically write answer for the question in a simple fashion. So I hope there is no more doubt in this particular question, because it's a very basic question, so which tries to explore about the nature of the anthropology, right? So this is a basic question, so basic simple applicative question. So that's all for the day from my side. So let's meet in another session with another important question. So until then, write right answer for the question, and let's meet again tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Thank you all for joining with this session.